Hello, my name is Geraint and I'm a professor of astrophysics at the Sydney Institute for Astronomy, part of the School of Physics at the University of Sydney, and I am a fellow of the Royal Society of New South Wales. My research expertise is cosmology, and I'm particularly interested in the dark side of the universe. This is the dark matter and dark energy which dominate the universe and have shaped the cosmos we see around us. To understand these, I use some of the biggest telescopes from around the world and in space, but I also like to build synthetic universes on computers. What I like to do is play around with the laws of physics and ask the question, how could the universe have been different? What's the most useful advice I've been given? That's a tricky one. I had a lot of advice over the years, but I think the one that has impacted me the most is to always work on topics that really interest you, that spark questions. So I like to maintain a very broad and diverse research portfolio, questions from the fundamental to the very practical, but all of them are based on things that I really want to find out. So I have this hunger, this thirst to answer these questions that I've had for most of my life. What advice would I give to my 21-year-old self? Again, that's a tricky one, but I'm going to be very practical here. I'm going to say that I would say to my 21-year-old self to understand finance, understand mortgages, understand superannuation, because they are an important part of our lives. And when you're an academic, they might just sit there in the background, but it's really something important to understand. So why am I a fellow of the Royal Society of New South Wales? Well, I think community is important, and all of us are members of societies which are very domain specific. I'm also a fellow of the Australian Institute of Physics, where I get to see all of the great work being done from the various physicists around the country. But I'm interested in not just physics. I want to know what's going on in all fields. And a broad church such as the Royal Society of New South Wales gives me an opportunity to see and hear about all the excellent research in all of the fields being done. And I think it's very, very important to get this overall view to understand just where we stand as a country in terms of our research expertise.